Long ago, in the ancient land of Aryavarta, where rivers sparkled like silver and forests sang with the whispers of time, countless small kingdoms thrived, their tall forts standing as guardians of prosperity. Among them was Shantipur, a kingdom of peace and harmony, where people lived under the kind rule of a noble king and his family. But peace is fragile, and one fateful day, a powerful neighboring ruler, driven by greed, unleashed his army upon Shantipur. The clash of swords thundered across the valleys, and the once proud fort, with its golden halls and fluttering banners, fell to the invader. Smoke darkened the skies as the people fled in fear, their hearts heavy with sorrow. The kingdom was silenced, its king killed, and Shantipur, once a sparkling gem of Aryavarta, waited in despair for destiny to breathe life into its very soul. In a quiet part of Shantipur's hills, two friends walked in search of food. Their names were Hari and Shyam. They were simple villagers. They worked hard each day, but often ended up with empty pockets. Their clothes were torn and dusty. Their sandals were worn out. They spoke of finding a big treasure that would solve all their problems. One morning, Hari and Shyam were hiding in a cave. They had fled the recent battles. While they sat there, they argued about who was to blame for their troubles. They were tired and grumpy. Their voices echoed in the damp walls. As they quarreled, they heard a low, firm voice. "Why are you two bickering here?" The voice said. Hari and Shyam jumped up. Standing at the cave's entrance was a tall man. He was strong and calm. On his waist was a gleaming sword. His clothes were simple but elegant. He walked in with steady steps. "Who are you?" Shyam asked, trembling. "I am General Vikram," the man replied. "I served the royal family of Shantipur. Now I am on a secret mission." He looked at the two villagers. They looked tired and harmless. "What brings you here?" Hari and Shyam began talking at once. They said they had nothing left after the fort fell. They just wanted to stay alive. Vikram listened. Then he said, "I need some extra hands for a journey. Come with me and help me carry some items. There may be a reward." The promise of a reward caught Hari's and Shyam's attention. They nodded quickly. Vikram led them through the cave. It was dark and damp. Small bats hung from the ceiling. Water dripped from the mossy rocks. But Hari and Shyam were too eager to see where Vikram was taking them. They reached a smaller chamber inside. There, a young woman waited quietly. She wore a simple tunic and kept her face partly covered with a scarf. She was quiet and graceful. Hari and Shyam thought she might be a servant. But they had no idea she was actually Princess Indira of Shantipur, the only daughter of the late Maharaja. General Vikram was her protector, and the scarf was her disguise. Beside her, stacked in neat bundles, was something that looked like blocks of wood. Vikram pointed to them. "We will carry these," he said. "It's special wood that we must deliver far away." He did not mention that these bundles hid the gold from the royal treasury. The gold bars were carefully wrapped so that no one would suspect. Hari and Shyam shrugged. They did not suspect treasure. They only hoped the job would give them a few coins for food. So the four set out together. Outside, the sun was bright, and the wind felt fresh. They walked across hills covered in tall grass. They passed small streams where birds sang. Princess Indira walked with her head bowed, trying not to draw attention. General Vikram led the way. Hari and Shyam followed behind, carrying the bundles. At times, Hari and Shyam grumbled. The road was long, and the load was heavy. They did not know why they had to carry these blocks of wood so far. General Vikram told them to remain patient. He said, "Do not worry. In the end, you will find your reward." The group came to a large river. Its waters flowed swiftly. There was a rickety wooden raft on the shore. A ferryman offered to take them across for a small fee. Hari and Shyam panicked because they had no money. But Vikram handed the ferryman a silver coin. The ferryman smiled and beckoned them on. As they crossed, the raft bobbed on the rushing water. Princess Indira gripped the rope on the side, her eyes watchful. Vikram stood near her, ready to protect her if the raft tilted. Hari and Shyam clung to the bundle of wood with care, worried it might slip into the river. When they reached the other side, they sighed in relief. On the far bank, the sky seemed wide and open. The road ahead wound through a thick forest. Monkeys chattered in the trees. Peacocks roamed about, their feathers shining in the sunlight. The forest was cool and green. But it also felt mysterious. One could easily get lost if not careful. Vikram guided them along a narrow path. He warned them to stay close. They walked quietly, listening to birds call out overhead. Once or twice, Hari thought he saw shadows move among the tall trees. He shivered, suspecting bandits. Shyam felt uneasy too, but they trusted Vikram's steady gaze. After hours of walking, they reached a small clearing. Vikram decided they should rest. He and the princess sat on a fallen log, sharing some simple bread and fruits. Hari and Shyam plopped down, tired, their shoulders sore. But they were thankful for the food. As night fell, they made a small fire. The forest around them grew dark. Crickets chirped in the bushes. Fireflies glowed softly, dancing in the air. Princess Indira and Vikram stayed a short distance away, speaking in low voices. Hari and Shyam wondered why a general cared so much for a simple young woman. But they were too drowsy to ask questions. They soon fell asleep, lulled by the forest sounds and the gentle crackle of the fire. The next morning, they continued their journey. After walking for a while, they saw smoke rising ahead. A busy marketplace lay near a crossroad. People were selling spices, pottery, and cloth. The scent of fried snacks drifted in the air. Children ran around, and traders shouted their prices. Vikram paused before entering the market. He told everyone to keep their guard up. "We cannot draw attention," he said. "We must buy supplies and move on." Inside the market, Hari's and Shyam's eyes shone at the sight of so many goods. They smelled sweet jalebis frying. They longed to taste them. They heard traveling musicians playing the flute. Princess Indira kept her face covered, while Vikram surveyed the crowd. He spotted soldiers from the rival kingdom. They wore red turbans and carried spears. Vikram quickly guided the group behind a row of stalls. They quietly bought some lentils, rice, and a small pot for cooking. Hari grabbed a few herbs. Shyam sneaked a look at embroidered scarves, wishing he had money to buy one. The princess noticed a mother and child huddled nearby. She gave them a handful of grain from her pouch. The mother thanked her with tears in her eyes. Soon, they left the market and returned to the road. They had to reach the hidden fortress of Shantipur's royal family. It was tucked away in the mountains, far from the enemy's reach. The road was rough, and the mountains loomed in the distance. Clouds hung low around the peaks. On the steep trails, they often had to push aside thorny bushes. Loose rocks rolled under their feet. At times, the path was so narrow that they walked single file. The wind howled, sending chills through their thin clothes. Hari and Shyam huffed and puffed, their muscles aching. But Vikram's firm presence kept them going. Princess Indira helped steady Shyam when he almost slipped on a wet rock. After a long climb, they saw an ancient stone gateway. Vines and moss covered its sides. It looked deserted. But Vikram knew the secret route around the back. They circled the fortress walls, coming to a hidden door. It was made of thick wood and had old metal hinges. With a gentle push, Vikram opened the door. Inside, the courtyard lay silent. Broken pillars and fallen stones hinted at old battles. Weeds sprang up from cracks in the ground. Yet, there was a sense of safety within those high walls. Vikram led them into a covered hall. Here, the ceilings were tall, painted with faded designs. Rays of sunlight shone through holes in the roof. The air smelled of dust. Princess Indira took off her scarf. Her face was calm but determined. Hari and Shyam gasped. You are a princess." Hari stuttered. She nodded. "I am Princess Indira of Shantipur. Thank you for helping me reach this place." Hari and Shyam fell silent. They remembered the war stories they had heard. They realized they were carrying the royal gold all this while. General Vikram stepped forward. He explained that the princess was trying to save the last treasure of Shantipur. If the enemy found it, all hope for the people would be lost. Hari and Shyam stood there, stunned. They could not believe they played a part in such an important mission. They felt proud and a bit scared. The princess kindly thanked them. Vikram brought out small silk purses from one of the bundles and handed them each a share of gold coins. "This is for your courage and hard work," Vikram said. "Use it to build new lives. But guard your hearts with honesty." The two friends stared at the coins. It was more than they had ever seen. They bowed their heads in gratitude. Together, they set up a simple camp in that old fortress. Over the next few days, they cleaned some rooms and fixed broken doors. Princess Indira planned how to gather loyal people to rebuild her kingdom. Vikram met messengers in secret, sending word for allies to join them. Hari and Shyam helped by gathering firewood and cooking meals. They felt a sense of purpose. They were no longer just poor villagers. They had joined a noble cause. When all was settled, Vikram called Hari and Shyam to a small courtyard. Princess Indira stood there, her posture straight. She had a regal grace. With a kind smile, she spoke, "My friends, You have journeyed far with me. You protected me without knowing who I was. I will never forget this." She placed a thin gold bangle on each of their wrists. Hari and Shyam felt tears prick their eyes. They promised to use their reward wisely. They promised to stay loyal to the princess. Then they bowed to her and to the general. That evening, they all shared a warm meal in the fortress's main hall. Lanterns lit the old walls. Outside, the wind blew softly across the mountain peaks. The stars shone bright in the sky, guiding travelers from afar. Princess Indira looked around at the small group, grateful for her new companions. She felt hope. She knew that with the treasure safe and loyal friends by her side, she could restore Shantipur one day. Soon, Hari and Shyam turned in for the night. They curled up on mats near the remains of a grand fireplace. They chatted about their journey. They talked about the ferryman, the busy market, the steep mountain path, and discovering the princess's true identity. Their eyelids grew heavy. The flickering firelight comforted them. General Vikram kept watch by a narrow window. He gazed at the dark valleys below. He could sense the dangers that still lurked. But he felt relief. The princess was safe within these walls. He listened to the soft breathing of Hari and Shyam as they fell asleep. He saw the princess resting in a nearby room, regaining her strength for the challenges ahead. In the stillness of that hidden fortress, all was calm. The wind whispered through the cracks in the stone. The night sky stretched like a dark velvet cloth, dotted with silver stars. In the morning, they would plan the next steps to rebuild Shantipur. But for now, a gentle peace settled on them all. As you drift to sleep, imagine that ancient fortress tucked away in the mountains. Think of the warm firelight and the soft hush of the night wind. Let your mind rest, knowing that brave hearts watch over the land. One day, Shantipur will be free again, and the princess will lead her people with wisdom and kindness. For now, let this story cradle your thoughts. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the memory of their journey fill you with comfort. Listen to the quietness of the imaginary forest. Let the flickering fire lull you into a peaceful dream. Good night. Sleep well, dear dreamer. The hidden fortress stands safe until the morning light.